habe ich das ungeheure Vergnügen, den künstlerischen Teil dieser Veranstaltung anzukündigen. Das ist schon ein etablierter Teil der British Council Heinrich-Böll-Stiftung Zusammenarbeit. Ich möchte Sie dazu auch gerne ermutigen, sich vielleicht ein bisschen mehr nach vorne zu begeben, damit Sie der Dinge, die gleich hier auf der Bühne stattfinden werden, auch teilhaftig werden können. Unser Gast ist Levi Tafari. Levi Tafari kam als Kind jamaikanischer Eltern in Liverpool zur Welt, wo er auch aufwuchs und somit dem Einfluss von ich würde sagen mindestens zwei Kulturen ausgesetzt war. Er ist Autor mehrerer Gedichtsammlungen mit den Titeln Dub Poetry, for instance, Liverpool Experience, Rhyme Don't Pay und From the Page to the Stage. Levi Tafaris Arbeit ist tief verwurzelt in der Tradition der mündlichen Überlieferung. Er ist ein leidenschaftlicher Verfechter der Existenz von Dichtung jenseits bedruckter Buchseiten und überzeugt davon, dass die menschliche Zunge sozusagen das erste Instrument der Welt war. Als Bühnenschriftsteller hat Tafari Stücke für verschiedene Theater in Großbritannien geschrieben. Er hat sich auch musikalischen Projekten gewidmet. Es umfasst unter anderem Produktionen mit dem ghanaischen Trommel- und Tanzensemble Delado, dem Liverpool Philharmonic Orchestra und seiner eigenen Reggae-Fusion-Band Ministry of Love. Zudem ist Levi Tafari in zahlreichen Fernsehsendungen aufgetreten, ganz bekannte Klassiker in Großbritannien, zum Beispiel wie Blue Peter und Grange Hill. Und er hat einen vielbeachteten Film produziert über die Rastafari-Kultur mit dem Titel The Road to Zion. Im Rahmen von Kunst- und auch Bildungsprojekten wie Britlit oder Inclusion and Diversity in Education hat Levi Tafari intensiv mit dem British Council in vielen Teilen Europas und der asiatischen Welt zusammengearbeitet, wofür wir ihm als Organisation zu sehr großem Dank verpflichtet sind und uns freuen, ihn dann auch hier wieder begrüßen zu dürfen. Bevor ich ihn jetzt auf die Bühne bitte, allerdings zunächst einmal noch ein Hinweis in eigener Sache, zu dem ich etwas ausholen möchte. In der Deutschen Demokratischen Republik der 1950er Jahre, meine Damen und Herren, gab es angesichts des westdeutschen Wirtschaftswunders vielfach Kritik von Seiten der Bevölkerung an der unbefriedigenden Bandbreite der volkseigenen Produktion von Konsumgütern und Waren des täglichen Bedarfs. Die Produzenten und die Verantwortlichen der Handelsorganisationen und Konsumgenossenschaften reagierten darauf mit einer groß angelegten Befragung der Werktätigen unter dem Titel „Nur wenn man eure Wünsche kennt, erweitert sich das Sortiment“. Was der HO und dem Konsum recht ist, kann Heinrich-Böll-Stiftung und dem British Council nur billig sein. Auch wir sind auf Ihre Rückmeldung angewiesen, um unsere Veranstaltung stetig dem Bedarf anzupassen und zu verbessern. Und zudem unseren Geldgebern, darunter auch die deutschen und britischen Steuerzahlenden, die sachgerechte Verwendung der uns zur Verfügung gestellten Mittel belegen zu können. Drum füllen Sie bitte diesen Evaluierungsbogen aus, der Ihnen schon von unseren Mitarbeitern und Mitarbeiterinnen übergeben wurde am Eingang. Wenn Sie noch keinen bekommen haben, sprechen Sie jemanden mit einem grünen Schild an. Sie bekommen sofort einen solchen Bogen. Und wenn Sie ihn dann ausgefüllt zurückgeben, sind Sie unserer ewigen Dankbarkeit sicher. But now, with no further ado, please welcome with me our very special guest for tonight, Levi Tafari.
The shifting sands of a distant shore inspired the search for life and a promise of more. Wandering, chasing a whole new dream, hopes and prosperity in new pastures of green. Leaving behind the life they knew so well, the pain of leaving makes the heart ache and swell. Promises to loved ones of a brighter future, coming to terms with a whole new culture. Decisions are made, the heart is obeyed, new foundations are laid, while hoping to get paid. Decisions are made, the heart is obeyed, new foundations are laid, while hoping to get paid. A loss of freedom leads to distress, doubts and fears breeds loneliness, hesitant but hopeful. This is human nature. Travel broadens your horizons. Embrace a whole new culture. Thank you. So I would like to welcome everyone. And that first poem was called Shifting. And we as people, we shift right across the planet, yes? From the beginning of time, people have been moving from one landmass to another landmass. And it depends on your intention when you reach somewhere, how things turn out, yes? So there's a lot of talk about immigration and people moving from one place to another. And the people who are moving in this particular time, in this era, are moving to contribute, to make a contribution to the place that they go to. They're not going there to control and to take over and to run parliament and to move the people who are already there to one side and control things, as was done previously in America, in Canada. Why do half of the Canadians speak English and half speak French? And look how far Canada is from England and France, you know? So my parents came from Jamaica, and whenever you mention Jamaica, people's faces light up. They think paradise, yes? And it's not a bad thing, because I know that Jamaica was one of the islands that made Britain rich through sugar and made Europe rich. And a lot of things that we enjoy in Europe and we take for granted have come from the places where immigrants come from. Coffee, tea, sugar, potatoes, the list goes on, yes? So, there's one earth and there's one human family, and the term hue means of color. And if you put man to hue, you get human, which is all manner of people of a different hue, of different colors. So we are here on this planet, and we have to live here, and we have to work together to move forward, okay? So that is my message tonight. There's no need to fuss and fight, because we waste energy when we fight against each other, and it causes destruction. But when we embrace each other and we celebrate each other, we have longevity and we can move forward. And I know the systems that have divided people, like apartheid and segregation, haven't been any good. They haven't been worth anything. They've just brought destruction and heartache. And we need to move forward with some harmony, with some peace, some unity, and some humanity. Okay. So, I've enjoyed the speakers today, and particularly Alistair Ross has touched some chords in my heart, because of a lot of what Alistair said is very true. That no one is just one thing. Even the Queen of England is from the House of Hanover. Yes? Prince Albert. Her husband is part Greek, part Austrian. So their children have 4 cultures: England, German, Greek, and Austrian. Yes? I'm almost royal, because I have 3 cultures. Ghanaian, Jamaican, and English. And I'm sure most of you can say, as my speaker, American, Dutch, yes? So we all have different aspects to who we are. And like Alistair said, depending on where you are and who asked the question, what are you, will determine a different answer. So my name, Levi, means unity. The name Tafari means creator. When you put the two together, a creator of unity. And it's interesting that as I travel around Europe, and particularly the UK, and you talk to young people, and you ask them what their names mean, and they have no idea. They have no idea what their name means. But they have lots of names to insult people. Yes? They like to insult people, calling people this and calling people that and pointing the finger. And like they say, when you point the finger at someone, there are 3 pointing back at you. So whatever you call that person comes back to you threefold. So, a creator of unity. My identity is a mystery because my story is not history. My genealogy is of an African ancestry, which has left a legacy for the whole of humanity. I am a crucial, rhythmic, poetic conscious raiser, an urban griot overflowing with culture. Born in Liverpool to parents from Jamaica, I'm Levi Tafari, a unity creator. My faith is Rastafari. I give thanks and praise to Jaja, my spiritual homeland, the land of Ethiopia. My philosophy, one love, peace, respect, and honor, displaying dynamic dreadlocks. People know me as a Rasta. My skin is rich in melanin, but I'm more than just a color. I'm a son, I'm a brother, a husband, and a father. I love my family. I love them to the very core. They're the blessing in my life. I couldn't ask for any more. I celebrate my culture. I would never abuse it. I express myself through rap, hip-hop, jazz, and reggae music. I am a man of the people. I feel and share the plight. And when it comes to revolution, I will stand up for my rights. No, I'm not monolithic. My attributes can be seen. I'm a qualified chef. I studied classical French cuisine. I could whip you up a meal using a single grain of rice, then get you hot and steamy with some Caribbean spice. I love gracing the stage. My poetry is my passion, creating rhymes, telling of the time in a poetic fashion. Traveling around the world, it gives me inspiration. My poetry is a reflection of my Rasta man vibration. My community is precious to me. I embrace her spirit. I always write with her in mind. This is how we do it. Tuxteth is my neighborhood, is the place where I was raised. I deal with the dramas of the ghetto, and I never get fazed. So I've created you a self-portrait of some of who I am. I'm a human being in love with life. I love this creation. I stir things up creatively for the love of humanity. I live the life I love to live because I'm just being me, a creator of unity. Thank you. Yeah. So you've just got to be yourself. Because now in the world, people aren't happy with who they are. And that's why we have all this cosmetic surgery going on and people trying to change this and to look more like this type of people or that type of people. People bleaching their skins and changing their eye shapes and changing their nose and putting collagen in their lips and doing their hair. And it's just madness. You just be who you are, yes? Be proud of who you are. And I feel good to be in the skin that I am in. And education, I suppose, is the key. If we teach people that look in a certain way is the norm, then people that don't look that way will feel insecure and feel strange, yes? So we need to think about what we're teaching. This one is called Scribe, and this poem, to make it work, when I say scribe on the vibe to stay alive, I want you to chant, communicate, educate, organize, yes? So it's scribe on the vibe to stay alive, communicate, educate, organize. Okay, and this poem pays tribute to the griots from the savanna grasslands on the African continent. And they had an oral tradition. They moved from village to village, from town to town, documenting and spreading the culture and the history and the social being of the people wherever they were. So, remember, scribe on the vibe to stay alive, communicate, educate, organize. And you can say a bit louder, this is not a bibliothèque, it's not a library, you know. Scribe on the vibe to stay, yeah? Okay. You're gonna get, all right. Select the word, inject the rhyme, then synchronize it to the rhythm of time. It moves, it flows, it's sweet like wine, translated through a root bass line. A language spoken we all know in the beauty of the suburbs of the rough ghettos. From islands, continents to countries, transcending cultural boundaries. Scribe on the vibe to stay alive. Communicate. We're gonna scribe on the vibe to stay alive, communicate, educate. Well, it started out, I said long ago, with a movement known as the griot, who chanted, recited, and told stories to document events in their community, nomadically drifting from town to village, communicating, spreading their knowledge from God to the heart, then to the tongue, a direct cultural expression that used instruments like the kora and the drum, expressing their cultural tradition. It started out in West Africa, a land alive with culture, cause we scribe on the vibe to stay alive, communicate, educate. Organize. We're gonna scribe on the vibe to stay alive, communicate, educate. Organize. You see, out on the streets where the youths reside, they're spreading their message far and wide. The tradition of the RAP, that's rap rhythmically applied poetry. The street cries of the urban dubs have entered the theaters, hit the clubs, communicating, celebrating, educating. Our journey is set and we're accelerating. Scribe on the vibe to stay alive, communicate, educate. Organize. We're gonna scribe on the vibe to stay alive, communicate, educate, organize, communicate, educate, and get wise. Thank you. Thank you. Melanin. Melanin, I love you. You mean so much to me. Oh, melanin, your beauty is far richer than the eye can see. My melanin embraces me from my head down to my toes. Oh, I would never forsake you. This I want you to know. You lie with me when I sleep at night. You guide me through the day. You take me to higher heights. I love to watch you play. I often face verbal abuse when you're out with me. Some people haven't got my melanin, so they show their jealousy. But no matter what they say or do, it won't stop me from loving you. my melanin, precious melanin, the pigmentation of my skin. Thank you. And that goes out to everybody because we are all melanated people, yes? Just to different degrees, yeah? But we make a big issue about the degrees. Yeah, some people go to university to get theirs. You know what I'm saying? All right. And they think their degree is better than that degree. All right. Last week, Wednesday, was International Women's Day. And I didn't really see too many celebrations going on. No, seriously, and it makes me think, well, what is happening, you know? We're celebrating women. All of us come from a woman. And the same, I suppose, with Black History Month in England. We celebrate Black History Month in October. And we go into schools and we talk to students, and you ask them about Black History Month, and they don't even know it's Black History Month. The same way a lot of people didn't know it was International Women's Day. And it just make me think, what are we absorbing, yeah, on this right now in culture, and, you know, everything's about celebrity and what this celebrity is doing with that celebrity and who's sleeping with who and who's doing. And the important things, people just have no idea. And when you say to students it's Black History Month and they ask you, why should we celebrate Black History Month and we don't celebrate White History Month? And you think, well, we celebrate white history 12 months of the year. So there's no need to single out one month. But at the same time, the reason why we celebrate Black History Month in England is because British history is incomplete without it. Yes? So this one is for two important women in my life, my mother and my wife. These next two poems. And for all the women here, some of you might be mothers, some of you might be wives, yeah? So the first one is called The Blessing in My Wife. You are the icing on my cake. You are the cream of the crop. You are my sunshine in the morning. You are my love to the very last drop. You are the stars that shine so brightly on a warm Caribbean night. You are the gracefulness of the hummingbird. You always fill me with delight. You are the solution to my problems whenever push comes to shove. You are the beat that pulsates my heart, the rhythm of my love. You are the melody I yearn for, the lips I love to kiss. You are the butterflies in my stomach. You are my rainbow-colored bliss. You are the lily of my valley. You are my rose of Sharon. You are my Queen Nefertiti. You are my every woman. You are the mother of our children. You are my one and only wife. Yes, you are heaven sent from Jaja. You are the blessing in my life. Thank you. And this one's for the first woman in my life. A woman's work is never done. If you don't believe me, ask my mom. She worked her fingers to the bones to provide us with a decent home. Now, if she lived in ancient Rome, she could have built that city on her own. Because she cooks, she cleans, she does everything. She iron decorates and she does the shopping. She chastised me when I was rude, never sent us to bed without food. Every day she would change our clothes. If we had cold, she would wipe our nose. If we went to mom with a problem, mom would always help us solve them. We didn't want for anything. We got the greatest gift, mom's loving. Now you can have 10 aunties, scores of lovers. But remember, you only have one mother. I remember when someone pointed the finger. Mom said I was black, beautiful, and I had a culture. So she always made sure we went to school. Because in this life, you can't be a fool. Because people will ride you like a mule. It was Mom who taught me to be cool. So, Mom, there's something I want you to know. I love you, Mom. Yes, I love you so. You taught me to survive in the ghetto. You can have my last Rolo. Now, if it wasn't for you, well, I wouldn't exist. So here it comes. For you, a kiss. Yes, you was the first woman in my life. But one day, I will take a wife. Then hopefully she'll become a mom. A woman's work is never done. Thank you. So, is everybody feeling good? Have you had a good day today? Yeah? No, it doesn't sound like, does it? So. You know, what's that? Tell you about something about homophobia and Rastafari? I can tell you about something about homophobia in general. It's not just Rastas, you know, who have homophobia. All different types of people have homophobia. But I am not a homophobic person, so I don't need to talk about homophobia. And the next couple of poems, you know, will talk about the situation. Why are you homophobic? No. Oh, well, why are you asking me about homophobia then? Say that again? Yeah, and many people don't know what's happening around the world with human beings in general. Do you know what I mean? So the point is, right? The point is that people oppress each other for any reason. Not just because they're gay, not just because of their color, not because of their religion, just because people don't see other people reflected in them. Yes? And the thing about homosexuality is that if it wasn't for straight people, there'd be no gay people. Would there? Because if everybody was gay, there'd be no population. And I'm not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing. You know? It could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing, depending on how you see life. So people have different types of sexuality. People do all manner of things. And not everybody takes to everything. You know, there are all different types of food, seafood, meat. There are people who are vegetarians that don't eat meat. So people don't indulge in everything. So I'm not here to talk about homophobia. And Jamaica is not the only country in the world where people don't agree with some people's sexuality, you know. So if you want to find out about homophobia, go and talk to somebody who's homophobic, because I certainly am not homophobic. Right. This next poem is called Anchored. And my parents came from the Caribbean and they set their anchor in Britain. And I feel they made a huge contribution. It was interesting to hear about the girl who wanted to go back to Turkey, or the woman who wanted to go back to Turkey, and thinking that her parents had made a contribution and worked. And I know my parents did when they came to Britain. They didn't claim benefits. They got on with it. And when my parents went to Britain, Jamaica was part of Britain. Because my parents went to the UK in 1957, and Jamaica didn't get its independence till 1962. So they were British subjects. My mother and my father left from Jamaica, so that they move into Britain where the grass is greener. Them did hear said the streets were paved with gold, but them never realized it would be grey and cold. Then get an invitation from the British government. It was the promise of security and employment. In this New Jerusalem they had hopes and dreams, achieving all they could through the ways and means they had. Faith in the country, faith in the city, grand ideas. Yes, the ride, it would be pretty, but little did they know, things would be hard because they had dark skins and came from abroad. Casting their anchor was an act of faith, holding on to the roots, this was no debate. The foundation they laid, it was an act of trust. Unity in the community is a must. You see, love, life, laughter from memories of home. Now it's blood, sweat, and tears, now they're here on their own. Integration can be a stumbling block as the anchor of my people remains firm in the dock. They had faith in the country, faith in the city, grand ideas. Yes, the ride, it would be pretty, but little did they know, things would be hard because they had dark skins and came from abroad. The people colonized by the British Empire came from the Caribbean, Africa, China, and Asia. They ventured to Britain to get a piece of the pie, but they had no idea it would be way up in the sky. They enjoyed the experience through staying power, through culture and religion, staying together. They brought many gifts. Now watch them unfold. Britain is now a multicultural rainbow. What a sight to behold. They had faith in the country, faith in the city, grand ideas. Yes, the ride, it would be pretty, but little did they know that things would be hard because they had dark skins and they came from abroad. Thank you. So, celebrate. And this one's for you, my friend, yes? This one's for you. Because, like I say, we have all different manner of people on this planet. People of a different hue. We have people, different faiths, different religions. We have people who have different abilities. What was that? Yeah, but that's why I say people, even people without religion have a religion. He doesn't understand the dynamics, you know. He doesn't understand the dynamics, and that's why he's standing shouting at the back. But there are people who don't have who tell you they don't have a religion, but they have a religion. Yeah, they just not even that they don't know what it is, but they have a religion of sorts. It mightn't be, you know, an institutionalized religion, because nobody's born with religion. In fact, I don't think religion has anything to do with God, because God didn't create religion. People created religion and then put it on God and then want to fight with each other, you know? It's true, isn't it? You know? We call God by different names, and different faiths have come at different times. When people said, oh, I've seen the light and I've seen this, you know, a lot of the things that we say God tell us to do, God didn't tell us anything. You know, we just want to do it to oppress certain people, whether it's women or, you know, people who can't dress up and go to the temple and all of these things, yes? We're just people. To me, the people that live in the rainforest and the jungles of this world are closer to God than anyone that goes to a church and pray, you know? Because they're living on the earth, and they don't abuse the earth, and they have respect for the creation. And it is God's creation, not our creation. We're just a part of it, but we think we're better than it, and that's why we're destroying it. But this one, thank you. But this one, This one is called Celebrate. And to make this poem work, when I say, because there's room for you and there's space for me, living in this world of diversity, I want you to chant, let's celebrate diversity. Okay? So it's let's celebrate diversity. And again, let's celebrate diversity. And this poem was used by the British Council. And I actually worked here in Germany as part of a project called the Indie Project, which was inclusion and diversity in education. Yes? So the British Council in Germany, particularly Berlin, has been very kind to me. And, you know, I thank them for bringing me here to speak to you tonight. And I've done other things through the council. So respect to the council, you know, respect. But this one is for everybody still. Thank you. All right. So, we should celebrate, not discriminate, learn to appreciate, don't play or hate, because there's room for you and there's space for me, living in this world of diversity. Let's celebrate diversity. Let's try that again. Because there's room for you and the space for me, living in this world of diversity. That's why we need to practice. Let's celebrate diversity. That's good. Nature dresses up in many shades of skin. The tones we display are the result of melanin. If you hate your neighbor because of their skin color, then you really hate yourself, because we're all versions of each other. People embrace religion, but still they fuss and fight. Many believe in one God, so why on earth don't they unite? There are many different faiths. We have lots of beliefs. Let's celebrate our differences instead of living life in grief. We should celebrate, not discriminate. Learn to appreciate. Don't play or hate, because there's room for you and there's space for me, living in this world of diversity. Let's celebrate diversity. The battle of the sexes competition is strong. Women cry out for equality because men sometimes treat them wrong. Society creates the roles for the genders to define. I know we are the yin and yang, but we could be living on cloud nine. The elders in our community still have a lot to give. You do not reach that golden age by being negative. Let's respect our elders and lift their spirits higher, because every day we're getting older, and like them one day we'll retire. We should celebrate, not discriminate. Learn to appreciate, don't play or hate, because there's room for you and there's space for me, living in this world of diversity. Now, let's celebrate diversity. Now when it comes to sexuality, there's true diversity. Sexual expression is red hot and spicy. Some people abstain while others get kinky. Straight, gay, A or bisexual, what's your category? Now disabilities, they vary. Society has a long, long way to go. Excluding disabled people as if they're really slow. Equal opportunities are vital for disabled people to succeed. It's not your disability that's the problem, but the world that doesn't cater to your needs. Refugees are suffering, who really knows their plight, fleeing persecution in the middle of the night, dressed in desperation. Where do they go from here? We all need somewhere to live without having to live in fear. We should celebrate, not discriminate. Learn to appreciate, don't play or hate, because there's room for you and there's space for me, living in this world of diversity. Your turn. Let's celebrate diversity. Because there's room for you and there's space for me, living in this world of diversity. Let's celebrate diversity. Bo. Thank you very much. Give yourself. All right. No, that was nice. It's good to have a bit of fun with it, you know. Yeah. It's difficult. Not that difficult. Maybe I need to do it in the Deutsch, yes? German, maybe? Okay. All right. Right. So, just a few more. So I'm from the city of Liverpool, and I'm sure, Scouts like, we talk like that. All right there, John lad. How's it going, kid? Know what I mean, like? Yeah? Oh, right. You didn't know I could talk the Scouts, did you? Yeah. Right. So, we're multi-talented. When you have more than one culture, you're multi-talented. I can't just come in and talk Jamaican and just talk, so you know what I'm going to say. Yeah? But then I can talk like that. You know what I mean? Like, or we can talk with received pronunciation. Like we're from Oxford. Right. So, Liverpool as a city, everybody knows Liverpool. Anywhere you go in the world, and I feel honored to have connections to Jamaica and to Liverpool. Because anywhere you go in the world and you say you're from Jamaica, nobody says, where's that? Everybody knows Jamaica, yes? And yeah, you doubt it? Oh, I thought you were saying, because I know, I give you a story, right? In the Amazon rainforest, I was being interviewed by a journalist, right? And she said, she went on holiday and she went to Brazil. She went to the rainforest and they were trekking through the forest. And she said she was sweating and it was hot. And there was quite a few of them. And she said, next thing she could hear, a jamming. And she thought she was hallucinating because it was hot and it was sweaty and she didn't have much water. And when they got to a clearing, yes, this is in the rainforest, there was a shack selling water and the guy was playing Bob Marley. Serious? And that's how popular Jamaica is. Well, Bob Marley, but by way of, Jamaica. So even in the rainforest, people know Jamaica and they know Bob Marley. And I know we give thanks to Germany that it was Germany that seen the talent in the Beatles and woke England up to the fact that they had these talented guys. Because they say a prophet's never honored in their own city. And Britain almost lost the Beatles to Germany, yeah? They had to come to Germany, yeah? So who said immigration's a bad thing? They had to go abroad to get famous, And I know some Americans the same way have had to leave America, to go abroad. Josephine Baker, she had to go to France, didn't she? And they didn't want to know. So that's what I'm saying. We move around and people have different intentions. But people think everybody has the same intention. They're coming here to take over. I won't be able to live because they're going to live and my house is going to be devalued. Your house is being devalued anyway because money is losing value as we speak. Yes. Creation is taking care of that. So, as I was saying, I'm from Liverpool and I've connections to Jamaica. And Liverpool, we have a term scouse. Yes? They call them scousers. And scouse is a stew. And a stew is an eclectic mix of ingredients. And Liverpool culturally is like a stew. It has the oldest black community in Europe. The oldest Chinese community in Europe. It has a large Irish community who brought the scouse, yes? And the term scouse came from Norwegian sailors who ventured to Liverpool and seen Irish people eating stew and referred to it as scouse, and the name stuck. So scousers are calling themselves by a Norwegian term and then saying they don't want immigrants coming in. So the whole thing is just madness, yeah? In England, we use the term pajamas, yeah? When you're going to bed, you put on your pajamas. It's an Indian word for suit, a Hindi word. We use shampoo to wash our hair. Shampoo is a Hindi word. The word shamp means to massage. You massage it into your head. You know, we have bungalows, an Indian word for house. So there are lots of things that we wouldn't have if people didn't travel. And this one is called Streets of Hope. Because in Liverpool, we have two cathedrals, an Anglican cathedral and a Catholic cathedral. Why? Because people of the same religion cannot get along. Catholics are Christians and Protestants are Christians. What's the problem? It's madness. And then they point the fingers at other religions, isn't it? Look at them, look at the, and look at you. Yeah, look at you. So, we need to get it together. We need hope. When Liverpool football fans sing, they sing, we walk with hope in our hearts. So this one is called Streets of Hope. Stereotypes and media hypes, the victim Liverpool. They painted a picture of a criminal culture, uncouth and very, very cruel. In vibrant times, poets would rhyme, comedians carried the swing. There was Mersey beat, the vibe out on the street, and everybody wanted to sing. You never walk alone in my Liverpool home. LFC wore the colours of success. They would beat teams up while retaining the cup. Teams that visited left distressed. Check out the TV soap, visit the Street of Hope with two cathedrals shrouded in fame. Newspapers from the gutter distorted the disaster, and Liverpool was back in the frame. Now some people say they love the accent, but then they'll pass judgment. They say Scousers are always on the rub. Well, there's a Scouser in town, so screw everything down. That's why Scousers just can't get a job. Well, there's the Albert Docks, close to the Liver Clocks. Sail the ferry across the Mersey. Check out the famous skyline, which is recognized every time with the image that is oh so chirpy. Well, she is known worldwide, this daughter of Merseyside, with a passion that burns like fire. So the reason I write is to shed forth some light, and Liverpool, you never fail to inspire. Thank you. Right. So I think we've got time for a couple more poems. Yeah, because we have to finish about 7. Yeah, okay. So this is a poem. Seems it goes down well with students, and they like the idea of rhyming. It has a rhyming title, which is Plastic Fantastic. And the world that we live in is becoming more and more synthetic, to the point where even we as humans are becoming synthetic. As I said earlier, people look in the mirror, they look in a magazine, they don't see what's reflected in the magazine in the mirror, and they want to change things. Yes? They work hard. They go to the surgeon with their hard-earned cash and say, I want to look like her. Yes? They have nothing to do with the woman in the magazine. They don't come from her gene pool or anything, but they feel they need to look like this woman. And so they give the surgeon the cash. He pulls his scalpel out like a samurai warrior. And then he goes to work. And the woman's coming out looking like a fish. Looking terrible, yes? Worse than when she went in before. And we think this is progress. And I am not against cosmetic surgery, because I think if somebody is at an accident or is burnt, then yeah, it suffices. But when there's nothing wrong with your face, why would you go to a surgeon to mutilate it? If you didn't need a heart transplant, you wouldn't go to a surgeon and say, I want you to take out this heart and give me another heart. Would you? But we do it on the outside because we live in a society where people judge each other aesthetically and not, like Dr. Martin Luther King said, he wants to see a world where people are not judged by the color of their skin, but by the contents of their character. And that's what we need to deal with. And we have this kind of false pseudo-synthetic world that we're living in. To make this poem work, when I alliterate the drum sound, bam, 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 I want you to simply chant, don't break it. Okay? So it's bam, 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 don't break it. Bam, bam, bam. Bless you. Okay. All right. Plastic, plastic, it's fantastic. Man-made chemicals, just like magic. Any way you like it, they take it, they make it. Plastic's fantastic, please don't break it. Bam, 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 don't break it. Bam, bam, bam. Now anything you want can be made out of plastic. It's versatile, really fantastic. Laboratory tested, it's scientific. I wrote this in an attic, I made it poetic. Some plastics are soft, some plastics are hard. People out shopping with their plastic cards, buying plastic plates and plastic spoons. Vinyl record with plastic pop tunes. Plastic combs and plastic phones. Plastic bins to put more plastic in. Leather trainers with plastic tags sold to you in plastic bags. Plastic stereo, video games, arty pictures in plastic frames. I went to the shop to buy some plastic shoes. There's so many styles. Which one should I choose? Plastic, plastic, it's fantastic. Man-made chemicals, just like magic. Any way you like it, they take it, they make it. Plastic's fantastic. Don't break it. Bam, bam, bam. Don't break it. Bam, bam, bam. A father gave his daughter a birthday gift. He was a plastic surgeon. He gave her a facelift. He gave her plastic nose to match her plastic clothes. Gave her plastic boobs from a silicone tube. Her name was Cindy. She had plastic skin. Plastic all over down to a coloring. She thought she was trendy because she was bendy. But don't believe the hype. It was all plastic surgery. Plastic, plastic. It's fantastic. Man-made chemicals, just like magic. Any way you like it, they take it, they make it. Plastic's fantastic. Don't break it. Bam, bam, bam. Don't break it. Bam, bam, bam. Now grown men acting like little boys, having lots of fun with their plastic toys. Soldiers playing with their plastic guns, plastic bullets and their plastic bombs. The war on the streets is synthetic drugs. The police infiltrate with those plastic bugs. The government is acting all lardy-dardy, running the country like a Tupperware party. Legislation tears the people apart. If stress creeps in, get a plastic heart. People are not remote automatic. We're skin, flesh, and blood. We're not made from plastic. Plastic, plastic. It's fantastic. Man-made chemicals, just like magic. Any way you like it, they take it, they make it. Plastic's fantastic. Don't break it. Bam, bam, bam. Don't break it. Bam, bam, bam. Don't break it. Don't believe the hype. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. And finally, I was going to do a song that I wrote, well, a kind of poetical song for Bob Marley, but I'm going to do a poem instead of nursery rhymes, yes? Because I know our first introduction to poetry were through nursery rhymes. Is that your experience? No? Maybe? But when you were small, you did nursery rhymes? Yeah? And their poems, yes? You didn't do Shakespeare when you were 6 months old, yes? In the pram, to be or not to be, yeah? But your first introduction, yes? Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Yes, Jack and Jill went up the hill, yes. I wonder why. But then I was thinking about nursery rhymes, and they said there's a poem, well, not a poem, there's a nursery rhyme. There I met an old man who wouldn't say his prayers. I took him by his left leg and threw him down the stairs. The stairs went crack, he broke his little back, and all the little ducks went quack, quack, quack. And we teach this to young kids, yes? Because somebody doesn't pray, we throw them down the stairs. And it made me think, maybe that's why the kids are growing up a little crazy, yes? In England, they might say, do dally, yes? Which is also an Indian term for someone going crazy. Yes, it's true. So, I hope you enjoyed these. These are not nursery rhymes, but nursery crimes. Ah, you get it now? Straight from the ghetto. Nursery crimes. Trickery, trickery, doc. Life can be a shock. In space and time I created a rhyme, and this is what we've got. There was a young woman who lived in a shoe. She was homeless with children. What else could she do? She marched on Downing Street with 10,000 women and men to evict those vampires at number 10. Get up, stand up. That's what she said. Stand up for your rights. Meanwhile, Humpty Grumpty was doing so well till a gunman shot him and Humpty fell. Gang warfare, it's a dread situation. Protection, rackets and extortion. Wheeling and dealing in illegal props. Gangsters terrorized, pursued by cops. Paralyzed from the neck down in a wheelchair. The community celebrated because Grumpty had them living in fear. And still, John and Jane cruised down the lane to score themselves some crack cocaine. On the way there, they got a scare. A police helicopter scoped them from the ear. So they took 2 E's and went to a rave. No, 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 there's no lyrics. And still they're pushing up daisies. You get it? It's true. And still they're pushing up daisies from their grave. And still, oh, Mother Hubbard, hid drink in the cupboard. She was always liquored to the bone. Referred to a clinic as an alcoholic. A celebrity, her face was well known. Along with media success came adversity and stress. Her career was trickling down the drain. Seduced by the drink had driven her to the brink. A recluse, she was never seen again. Just like Little Joe Weep, she didn't lose her sheep. She hid them and claimed compensation. But the sheep, they were found in her brother's compound. Now they're both facing prosecution. You see, they could even go to prison. Ask yourself, is this a crime? Georgie, Georgie, why oh why did you kiss the girl and make her cry? Georgie, Georgie didn't have a reply. Well, try, man, Georgie, try, man, try. So Georgie, Georgie thought for a while. Then he turned to me with a sinister smile. He told me while he was making love to Emma, he accidentally called her Gemma. Gemma turned out to be her sister. Now the 3 of them are starring on Jerry Springer. Jerry, 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 Jerry. That's when, it's true, he knows. You're shaking your head. You have your doubts. You don't think Jerry would cover that? Yeah, if you're sleeping with your girlfriend's sister, you would be on Jerry Springer. Yes? Probably, I think so. That's when Mary had a little lamb. It freaked the midwife out. Genetic engineering Mary. Yes, without a doubt. Laboratories in modernity. Is this futuristic maternity? I saw that monstrosity on my television. Sporting a suit. It's a politician. Like an android, he operated out the soul. And this is the one who may take control. Hey diddle diddle, some are caught in the middle, trying to figure life out. Talk of a God in the sky, watching from way up high, and to him we should be devout. Stand and face your judgment, if you're disobedient, damnation dwelling in hell. But as far as I can see, society's building hell around we, and they wonder why we rebel. Yes, they wonder why I rebel. Thank you very much. And if you turn your TVs on and you watch the news, you'll see that rebellion going on right as we speak. Thank you very much. Good luck for the future for everyone. Thanks for listening. Thanks for the British Council. And I'd like to thank the speakers today for endowing me with knowledge and information, which I hope to use in further poems. Thank you.